Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah Elimihe. Today, let us talk about ease. Let's just take a deep breath. Release it. Life is not difficult until we make it difficult. What I am talking about is simple. Our lives are difficult when we sow seeds of difficulties in it. I have made some videos where I talked about forgiving and forgetting. Some people say that I can forgive, but I can forget. I have forgiven you, but I have not forgotten. That is a lie. The forgetting is what makes forgiving possible. You see, when somebody hurts you, when you carry that injury with you, it is difficult for you to forgive that person. You might say you have forgiven, you intend to forgive because the law says so, that if you don't forgive, you can move forward. But the thing that makes you move forward is the absence of the injury. When you are injured, how do you walk? Do you walk so fast? Do you walk with ease? No, you walk with a sense of dis-ease. Because the injury is hampering you. The injury has taken from your capacity to do. So the hurt is what you must bleed out. Let it go. When the hurt goes, it becomes very easy to forgive. So many things in life exist to give us tension. If we do not embrace them, tension will not come. People have a right to be what they are. People don't have to become nice because of you. Life was not designed for just you. Life was designed for everybody to fully express themselves. And expressing themselves means that they are free to be anything. They have the right to be nasty. They have the right to be deadly. They have the right to be manipulated. They have the right to be anything. Let them be. Live and let live. There are people who get offended just because people are dressed in a certain fashion. Some people are offended because people are speaking in a certain linguistic style. I have met some people who hate people speaking the Nigerian pidgin. They feel it's a bad language, it's a bastardization of English. Speak Queen's English or shut up. I remember I had to correct a friend who was saying, they don't allow pidgin. I said, what do you mean? You are denying your people the rights of their history. Pidgin is an evolution of our contact history. Pidgin came as a result of contact with the outside world. And it is a manifestation of the creative, of the mental inventiveness of our people. And you are asking our people to drop their treasures. Pidgin is a treasure. So there is nothing. A lot of the times, our stuffed up nature, our inability to find peace is born out of our ignorance. We have certain beliefs that certain things are wrong. Meanwhile, they are not wrong. In fact, who even says that there is something absolutely wrong? I always like to refer to Shakespeare in Hamlet, where one of his characters says, there is nothing bad in itself, but thinking make it so. And that quote that is associated with Henry Ford, which says, if you believe you can't, you are right. And if you believe you can, you are right. It's all about mental attitude. So, my friend, what are your beliefs that are making your life so uneasy? The purpose you must have a belief at all is for that belief to ease life for you. If that belief is not easing your life, if it is making you hate people, if it is making you judge people, if it is making you feel superior to people, you are not going to find peace. You're not going to be at ease. The capacity to let people be is the capacity to find ease. We are going to take a short break now. Then we will come back and discuss this in its fullest details possible. I am Osezuah Anthony Elimihe. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the dream. Welcome back. So what are the beliefs that are clogging the wheel of your joy. When you do not allow other people their right to be, however infantile, however destructive you think they are, take what you cannot change from your mind. Don't focus on things you can't change. This is how we create power for ourselves. When we see things that are beyond our change capacity and we let go, we become at peace. The person you cannot physically beat lives with you and is always exhibiting attitudes that are negative. And you know that if you confront this person will beat you to pulp. What do? You learn to accommodate that person's excesses. And how do you do that? It's survival. It is the survival mechanism built into you. You will find that you are able to adapt. In the initial stage, it will give you source of concern. But when you release and let go, you will find out that you are able to really let go. And this person, over time, will become soft towards you. And you'll be surprised that this person begins to also change. And by then, you really don't need the person to change anymore because you have acclimatized. You find out that there are some things to be appreciated in the person's attitude. And you begin to live it. Sometimes you may be able to beat the person and control the person because you are very strong. You keep beating the person every day. You never find peace. Sometimes you don't know that you don't have peace. You have pent up feelings loaded into you. Others can see it, but you cannot see it. When I was working at Rosabelle Burnett, I was head of TV production. This guy was head of his account management team. This guy was insufferable. He was at the height of his boot-licking ways. And I remember his boss, who later left to the client side, warned me initially and said, be careful of this guy. He may be friendly with you. All you know is that he's picking information from you to use against you. Don't trust this guy. I said, I know him, don't mind him. Now, I noticed that boss of his was much more friendly with him than I could be. I have never known how to pretend. So because I didn't like him, I didn't like his boot-licking attitude, I gave it to him each time he tried to do those things around me. If there was any guy that suffered more in my hands while I was in the agency, it was he. The guy was like 6'5". He was tall. He has some weight also. But the day he got me mad, I jacked him underneath his armpit and I carried him, I slammed him against the wall. I was so livid. The way I picked him, the guy could not believe. His eyes popped out. He was looking at me. And I pulled him out of my office. Don't you ever come play that game with me. I messed him up big time as I was doing my thing. And we had the privilege of traveling together on a project abroad. And I kept making it clear to him, I am on this trip with you not because we are best of friends. You are an arse licker, so don't even come near me. Even sometimes he will come to me to say things that were germane, that are normal. I will kick him off. The guy became very wary of coming near me. Our partners were working with us. They were wondering, Osezuah. I said, I don't like this guy. Don't even try. I can only discuss with this guy only from the perspective of business. Anything outside business, I don't have anything to do with it. Say, okay, let's go out and have a drink together with him. No, I'm not interested. You go, you guys can go. I will stay where I am. It was that bad. But I didn't have the understanding that my problem was intolerance. One, I was not tolerant with people that I found to be like snakes. Sometimes last year, and then I had an epiphany that says, that guy wasn't really the problem. I was the problem. There were actions of his that were actually reflections of me. He was just a screen on which the images that were in me were projected. And I saw it and I repented of it. I went through the phone to get his number. It was not on my phone anymore because I won't be surprised I didn't have his number. I looked for him on Facebook. I sent him a message where I apologized profusely for those years. That I didn't actually know that he was actually somebody planted in me by life for me to learn certain things. And I never learned those things. And I took it out in the outer world and I wrecked the ship of my business and I wrecked most of my relationships. And this was where I found myself. That guy was a teacher sent from above for me. Anybody in your life right now that you think you cannot stand, know one thing. They are teaching you a very valuable lesson. There are things in your life that you cannot see. Like Cassius was saying to Brutus. He said, an eye cannot see itself except by some reflections. He said, Brutus, let me thy mirror be. Now, in the same way, you cannot know who you truly are. Other people will see it, you will never see it. When they are talking about it, you say they are talking about someone else completely, you will never believe it. So there's somebody I housed with his wife and child for 18 months. He was supposed to have spent just 2 weeks, but he ended up spending that long. I wasn't really bothered about how long he stayed. I was willing to house people. It wasn't my problem. But that guy ended up to be my worst critic. There was a day he said something to me that, Osezuah, go and make peace with yourself and you'll be all right. That is the only problem you have. You are generous, you are kind, you are creative, you are this, but you don't have inner peace. And I felt very uncomfortable with what he said. I just looked at him. I said, it's one of those things. I left him. I had begun to learn tolerance. If he had said that to me earlier than that, maybe if he said it 2 years earlier than that, he would have received the verbal assault of his life. But I just left him. But what then came out of that thing was that it came out years later. I realized that indeed I didn't have inner peace. Why? Because I kept judging everybody, everything. If you really want to know what I'm talking about, go check my Facebook post from 2017 downwards and see how polemic I was to life. Even this nation, I blasted it to the ground. I blasted the leadership. I blasted everything. And if anybody was not doing things the way I consider to be proper and the person was within my reach, I would blast the person. That action reflected a person that was not at peace. If you are that person judging everybody, you are in traffic, people are driving rough, you want to show to them that they are stupid, you are not at peace. People have the right to be themselves around you, just as you have the right to be yourself. Be at ease. Take a deep breath. The right to be also includes the right to be stupid, the right to be ass-licking, the right to be crazy, the right to be irresponsible, the right to be anything. You are not a judge. Let them be. Now, when you get to that point where it feels as if you really can't stick with this, you are still like that, but you know you have to change it. When you wake up in the morning, set the tone of your day. I am welcoming to life. Any form, any way life poses to me today, I am willing to accept and welcome it. I change myself, I change none. People have a right to be themselves around me without affecting me. I am my best friend. I choose ease. I choose peace. See, when people can begin to feel at ease around you, they know that you are not going to judge them. It means that you yourself have become at ease within yourself. It is the way people feel around you that is an indication of how you feel within you. Take a deep breath. Release it. Life is easy. Life is ease. Until you become easy, you will not be able to experience that side of life. God bless you.